Tonight on CTV News, hopeful for a deal with the U.S.
Canadians expect us to get a deal that's in the economic interest of Canada.
Down to the wire, last-minute negotiations to hammer out a deal to avert the next wave of threatened tariffs. How American booze is part of the talks.
You're going to wait here? You're going to wait for the cops. Call the cops right now.
Vigilante justice, how buyers set up a sting after they say thieves stole Pokemon cards from them. And hundreds of jobs axed on the Sunshine Coast. A pulp mill is shutting down. The union is calling for government action to prevent the forestry crisis from worsening.
This is CTV News with Mi Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news out of Prince George tonight, where at least one person has died after a small plane made an emergency landing on a busy road. RCMP say the plane landed on Foothills Boulevard just before 2:30 this afternoon. Two vehicles were also involved in the crash, and a person inside one of them was killed. Any other possible injuries, including to those on board the plane, are not yet known. Foothills Boulevard is closed in both directions and is expected to remain that way overnight and into Friday. The Transportation Safety Board will take over the investigation. Two more breaking news. A day enjoying the outdoors has ended in tragedy. A man has drowned at Cultus Lake. Let's go live to CTV's Yasmin Gandam. Yasmin, what do we know?
Well, Mi Jung, as you said, this is a very popular summer travel spot, oftentimes for young families. A very unspeakable tragedy that happened here. People in the area describe a man drowning for at least 20 minutes. Now, the RCMP's Upper Fraser Valley Regional Detachment said the man was using an inflatable boat near the Entrance Bay area when he went missing around 1 o'clock, prompting a search of the lake. He was found in the water about an hour and a half later. Now, authorities said CPR was administered, but the man did not survive. A woman camping nearby spoke to a witness who saw the terrifying incident unfold.
They were there. They saw the person struggling. She and there's a few younger girls with her that they tried to save them. They went in, but they said it was so deep. They went in and they couldn't breathe down there, so they had to come back up.
Coroners have urged swimmers to be careful when heading out in the water following a surge in accidental drowning deaths in the province this year. Now, just earlier this month, a 13-year-old suffered a medical emergency while paddleboarding in the lake. There have been 40 water-related deaths between May and July 13th of this year. That's almost double that of last year. So definitely a warning here to be extra careful. Mi Jung?
Yeah, it has been a treacherous summer. Yasmin Gandam reporting live tonight from Cultus Lake. Also breaking tonight, hundreds of workers on the Sunshine Coast are losing their jobs, with Domtar announcing it is permanently closing the Howe Sound pulp mill. There are already fears about the ripple effects it could have for the Sunshine Coast economy.
It's really built our community since 1909, and all the tourism, all the entrepreneurialism and film industry, everything else that's really evolved over here.
The closure of the mill and Bayview Fiber chipping facility in Port Mellon will directly affect about 400 employees. Domtar blames reduced demand from Asia, poor pulp prices, and a decline in affordable domestic fiber. The province says it's a difficult day for the Sunshine Coast, with the loss of livelihoods that have supported families and communities for generations. Very close to a deal. That is the official word from Washington tonight as BC and Canada try to avoid punishing tariffs. But there is still no word from the Premier on whether American booze will be back on BC liquor store shelves. And as CTV's St. John Alexander reports, is a decision that remains fluid across the country.
This has been a power play, a potent move for provinces like BC because it's a visual counter-move that irritates the U.S. president, and Canadians are coping without Kentucky bourbon.
I would continue that habit, and I'm a dual citizen. I'm actually American and Canadian.
I will never drink any American alcohol.
The Prime Minister asked the provinces to bring booze back as a gesture of good faith, and Newfoundland's Premier says there was consensus.
They're back in our shelves, and we all agreed.
Yet we haven't heard a peep from David Eby, Doug Ford quiet, and Manitoba's Premier feisty.
I think we should fight. I think we've got the upper hand. They're back on their heels right now.
Wab Kinew says he wants to see all the details of a potential deal with the U.S. first.
So right now, we haven't decided to put the booze back on the shelves, but hypothetically, let's say that there was a deal. Leave it there. If we put the booze back on the shelves, don't buy it.
Everyone here is in a really difficult position, and now we're watching them try to find their way forward under stress and uncertainty.
The unified approach also has to be considered. No one wants to be seen as the odd man out. That might jeopardize a new agreement.
We don't have to buy it.
We'll stick with Canadian products, thanks. So we've changed our shopping habits, and we're going to keep that up.
So the feeling among Canadians is very genuine. And I think that's an incentive for all politicians in all parties, governments and oppositions right across the country to pull together on this.
Canadian negotiators met with U.S. representatives for 3 hours Thursday and left sounding optimistic.
Canadians expect us to get a deal that's in the economic interest of Canada and Canadian workers. We're very close. We continue to make progress.
They hope to have a deal finalized Friday, when there'll be more pressure on the provinces to reveal their next move. St. John Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
A local Pokemon card collector says thieves stole thousands of dollars worth of cards from him. But one mistake helped him get them back, and it was all captured on video. CTV's Kevin Chirac has the story.
So you guys are going to wait here?
They thought they were showing up to sell some Pokemon cards. Instead, they were confronted by the man who says those cards had been stolen from him days earlier.
The mission was hold these guys down until the cops can get there and get my cards back.
Emilio Kian says just a few days before the confrontation at Metrotown, the same two men came to his Coquitlam home to complete a Facebook Marketplace transaction.
I put the cards in his hand. As soon as they're in his hand, he just starts running. A couple scabs, a little bit of road rash here, you know.
He says these were the injuries he suffered after clinging to the getaway car before falling to the ground.
I called the cops. I let them know what happened. They kind of let me know, we can't really do that much.
But a few days later, friends flagged an online listing. The same Pokemon cards were back up for sale, using the exact same photos Kian had posted in his original advertisement.
I'm just thinking, you know what, these guys can't be the most intelligent of people.
So Emilio and his friends decided to set up a meetup, posing as new buyers with a plan to get the cards back.
Call the cops right now.
Recording it all on video sunglasses, Emilio and his friends confronted the men at the Burnaby Mall and held them there until police arrived.
There's a bit of mayhem going on for our officers to figure out what actually happened.
Police made 2 arrests at the scene, 1 adult and 1 youth who could face charges including theft. While the plan worked this time, RCMP say people should never confront suspects on their own.
Vigilantism can only cause problems because no one knows who has weapons. Even as the victim, if you show up and you harm someone, now you're looking at charges as well.
Kian says he went to police, but felt he wasn't getting the help he needed.
The police response, they really didn't seem like they were going to help me that much. One of the officers literally said if it was me, I'd probably just try and set them up myself. The holy grail here.
Kian got his cards back, though not without a little damage. He's sharing his story as a reminder to use caution when selling online and to consider meeting at a public place such as a police station.
I had no issues with the Pokemon community before this, no issues with marketplace meetups, but you really never know.
Kevin Chirac, CTV News, Coquitlam.
Just ahead, could a Vancouver man who vanished decades ago be this mystery man who authorities in Amsterdam have struggled to identify? The efforts to piece together the past of the man they call Lucky in just a few moments. But first, let's take a look outside a skyline of downtown Vancouver from our camera on top of our building at Robson and Burrard. blue sky. We've been used to seeing some haziness the last little while. Did not see any of that today.
No, nice and bright and clear and calm. A beautiful day out there. Warm temperatures as well across the board. Here's a look at them across the lower mainland right now. 25 degrees at the harbor. You're looking at 28 in Burnaby, 29 in Pitt Meadows right now, and 31 degrees in Chilliwack and in Surrey. As we head through the overnight, it'll be warm, 15 degrees, clear and calm. Into tomorrow, we'll start off sunny, but then the clouds roll in through the afternoon. 26 degrees near the water, 31 degrees inland. Soak in the sunshine and the warm temperatures if you like it, because change is coming for the weekend. You're going to have to dust off your umbrellas. I've got those details coming up.
Okay, don't know where that is, but I'll find it somewhere.
Buy a new one. It's fine.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
A woman who was caught on camera dumping garbage in a lake in Abbotsford has been fined for her serious lapse of judgment. Videos began circulating online this week of her allegedly emptying the contents of a Dollarama bag into Mill Lake. Police say community tips helped officers identify her, highlighting the importance of public reporting. She has been issued 2 violation tickets for littering, totaling $1,000. Could a cold case mystery in Vancouver be closer to being solved? Police are now trying to figure out whether a man who collapsed on a street in Amsterdam 3 years ago is actually the same man who's been missing here for decades. CTV's Martin McMahon has more on a story that has captured the imagination of online sleuths around the world.
A lot of people ask, how is it possible?
Despite all the technology available in 2026, a man in a Dutch care home has no known identity, only able to say a couple of words following a stroke 3 years ago.
No bank account, no house, no registration, nothing.
Hij slijt zijn dagen in een...
In a desperate move, police in the Netherlands have released a video asking the public for help. The video says the man police have nicknamed Lucky was seen at Buddhist temples and had a number of nicknames, including Chris the Canadian.
Sonny en Chris de Canadees.
Anton van Straten is an amateur sleuth and says the case immediately caught his attention.
I thought, I searched through international special Canadian missing persons databases, and I used EI for this and compared many photographs and descriptions.
Using a number of artificial intelligence programs, Van Straten found what he believes is a possible match. John Russell Kenny, a Vancouver man said to have mental health issues who hasn't had contact with his family since 1993.
I immediately noticed similarities in the face, eyes, nose, and the hairline, the age, the height, the timeline.
Vancouver police are looking into the possible connection and have shared fingerprints with their Dutch counterparts.
Our Vancouver Police Department's missing person unit has been in contact with Interpol and Amsterdam police to identify if John Russell Kenny and Lucky are in fact the same person.
And I hope really that this person's will be found, or get a name, or they are the persons, these 2 persons are one person.
Still, this remains unresolved, with Dutch police identifying 5 other persons of interest in the search for who Lucky really is. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Vancouver.
While home sales have been on the decline this year, experts believe that trend will turn around in 2027. The BC Real Estate Association says it forecasts home sales will rise about 7.5% next year. They say the market will see another 1.2% drop to end off 2026 before things go up. Chief economists from the organization say the recovery for the market is long awaited, but warns it will be a slow and gradual climb. A complicated rescue mission on the West Coast Trail. How weather forced crews to hike in on foot in rugged terrain. Also ahead.
More than anything, right in this moment, I'm relieved.
A lifeline is being given to a Vancouver Island teen told she would have to wait till next year to get critical surgery. The organization that is now offering a private option. When CTV News at 6 continues. Stay with us. A medical emergency on the West Coast Trail turned into a complex rescue because of coastal fog. The Alberni Valley Rescue Squad had to abandon an aerial extraction south of Pachena Bay yesterday afternoon. Rescuers called in by Parks Canada had to quickly shift gears, and an advanced medical team made their way to the injured hiker on foot. A second rescue team arrived with rope equipment to extract the hiker on a stretcher. The injured person was brought to a nearby clinic for treatment. Crews are crediting a bystander who stayed with the hiker for hours until help arrived. A teenager in Victoria is finally getting help after spending 2 years on a wait list for scoliosis surgery. The 16-year-old recently spoke out after her surgery date was once again postponed. CTV's Brendan Strange shows us how one group is now offering a lifeline.
More than anything, right in this moment, I'm relieved.
Rebecca Burrows received a phone call yesterday that will potentially change her 16-year-old daughter Dylan's life.
BC Shriners. Who knew? The guys with the red hats.
On Tuesday, the Shriners of BC Yukon saw the family story on CTV News of how Dylan has been waiting more than 2.5 years for a crucial spinal cord operation that will correct the effects of her scoliosis, twisting her spine into this S shape. 2 weeks ago, Rebecca was told by the BC Children's Hospital that her daughter's scheduled October operation would now be pushed into the new year.
I said, they can't do that. The poor girl's she'll get crippled.
For Dylan, time is of the essence.
We were told from the onset of her diagnosis from BC Children's that having this surgery before her growth plates close was mandatory.
The Burrows now need to get Dylan's medical records to the Shriners Hospital in Portland, Oregon for assessment. Once that is being confirmed, the Shriners are looking to send Dylan and her family to its hospital in Montreal to receive the surgery before the end of the year, if not much sooner.
The hospital provides the service for the child. There is no medical cost whatsoever to the child nor the family.
As well, the Shriners say all travel costs will be covered. For the Burrows, sharing Dylan's story was a difficult decision.
It's not something I wanted to share.
Rebecca says it was done out of frustration, with the duty to advocate for her daughter's well-being.
It actually brought an angel.
It's about helping each other and children of the future so they have a better life. That's what we do.
Rebecca says Dylan is one of the lucky ones, skipping the queue in a medical system that she calls in crisis mode.
Just hearing from them has broken my heart.
Since Dylan's story aired, Rebecca says she has been contacted by numerous parents as well as children experiencing the same situation.
I just can't get over it.
According to the provincial government's surgical wait times database, there were 193 youth waiting for spinal or back surgery at BC Children's Hospital as of May 31st of this year. Dylan is one of those on the list, but now she has been thrown a lifeline by the Shriners of BC and Yukon, an opportunity Rebecca says they couldn't be more grateful for. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Oak Bay.
A woman from Alberta is facing hefty fines and a week without her vehicle after being caught driving twice the speed limit in northern BC. BC Highway Patrol says the 21-year-old Chevrolet Trax was clocked at 142 kilometers per hour in a 70 zone near Fort St. John last Thursday. Police say between the $483 ticket, high-risk driver premiums, and higher insurance costs, this will make for an expensive lesson topping $2,000. Canadian elbows are coming down a bit when it comes to travel to the U.S. What's being done by Americans to try to lure more Canadians south of the border? Also ahead.
I think it's really important for parents to know and to talk to their kids.
A mother speaking out after an Uber Eats driver repeatedly dropped off gifts for her 12-year-old daughter. Who she caught on camera and what Uber is doing about it. Stay with us. The PNE Fair opens this weekend. Canada's only WNBA team is playing 2 games at Rogers Arena, and dragon boats are returning to Falls Creek. There's lots to do in and around Vancouver this weekend, and we've got a full list of fun things to check out on our website, ctvnewsvancouver.ca. The Canadian Transportation Agency has ruled in favor of people who use wheelchairs when they fly on WestJet. The agency says WestJet is imposing an undue barrier on people with disabilities by barring some wheelchairs from its planes. The airline had a 300-pound weight cap on mobility aids. Former Conservative Cabinet Minister Stephen Fletcher, who uses a wheelchair, filed the complaint against WestJet. He had been prevented from flying with his custom wheelchair. WestJet will have to make the changes within the next year. New numbers show Canadians are a little more open to traveling to the United States. Data shows the number of tourists heading south increased year over year in June, but it is still way down from 2024. That drop has more major cities making a big effort to entice Canucks to come back. CTV's Jordan Canagan reports.
Ask some Canadian jet setters who are heading south.
I'm traveling to the United States for a wedding, but otherwise I would not be.
And the reluctance to travel to American destinations is still present.
I work for a company in Canada, and so I think we should have good relationships, and I'm not particularly excited by what's going on.
Years into a tariff war and with a lagging loonie, overall Canadian travel to the United States has fallen by nearly 25% since 2024.
You know, the U.S. isn't off the market. It's just that people are being more intentional about where they're traveling to.
Some Canadians are again making the choice to return to the U.S. New data from Statistics Canada shows 2.3 million return trips to Canada from the U.S. in June. That's a 5% increase year over year, an increase for the third straight month.
Canada is a very important market for New York City.
The Big Apple is making a big push to try to entice Canadians. Its new Northern Neighbor promotion opened reservations this month. It offers a 30% discount for Canadians at dozens of New York City hotels, restaurants, museums, attractions, even Broadway.
With the headwinds we had going on, we saw that number dropping, and we just wanted to do whatever we could to make it a little bit more encouraging and welcoming for our travelers, because it's just a big market for us.
Although the Canadian tourism rebound is gradual so far, incentives may speed things up.
I think price will always intrigue people. If it's a good deal, people are going to be interested in scooping it because they don't want to miss out.
A warning from an Ottawa mother now after an alleged incident involving an Uber Eats driver. She says the man returned to her home multiple times after a delivery to drop off bags filled with treats and money for her 12-year-old daughter. CTV's Katie Griffin reports.
It was an unexpected discovery that has this mom on edge.
It's very unnerving. I have not been able to sleep.
Without her knowing, this woman's 12-year-old daughter ordered Uber Eats during a sleepover with a friend after midnight, August 3rd. She'd used her Mido card, a money app for kids to spend and learn how to budget, to open an account.
She ordered Wendy's Frosties, and the delivery driver came in, dropped it off, and then about an hour later, we got somebody was knocking on the door and rang the doorbell, and they found that there was a brown paper bag that said her name was addressed to her and said, "From your secret admirer," and it had candy in it.
They didn't know who it was from, but installed security cameras the next night. Then almost 2 weeks later, on August 16th,
we found another package that was addressed to her, and inside had candy, a $20 bill, and a note that said, "To her name, from your secret admirer," with a phone number on it. And we looked at our cameras and we saw that it was an older man.
Her daughter identified him as the delivery driver and discovered the same white car had passed by their home in Canada multiple times in the overnight hours.
He asked for her number to verify it was her, and she said, "Do you really need that?" And he said, well, you could either give me your number or you could give me the last 4 digits. And then he also told her and her friend that they looked very mature.
In a statement, an Uber spokesperson says this behavior is unacceptable and has no place on the Uber platform. "We take reports like this extremely seriously, and as soon as it was reported, the delivery person's access to the app was removed." Ottawa police are investigating.
I think it's really important for parents to know and to talk to their kids so it doesn't happen to anybody else.
Cancer experts are weighing in after a new type of treatment reportedly showed positive results in late-stage trials. Moderna said the findings concern an experimental cancer vaccine targeting the deadliest form of skin cancer, melanoma. Moderna and Merck are developing the treatment together. It relies on mRNA technology, the same technology that's used in COVID vaccines. The cancer shots are personalized for each patient, and they are designed to teach their immune systems to recognize the unique genetic fingerprint of their cancer. The companies say when paired with an existing immunotherapy, the new vaccine treatment helped reduce the risk of cancer returning or spreading further.
I want to clarify that although we call it vaccine, this is not a preventative vaccine. This is more of a therapeutic vaccine to treat cancer rather than prevent cancer. We haven't had much success with this in the past, and this is the first time also with the mRNA platform. So from scientific point of view, it is very exciting, but we haven't seen the data yet.
Moderna and Merck say they plan to present the full study results at an upcoming international medical meeting. There's no timeline on when they might apply for regulatory approval of the experimental treatment. The Granville Strip came alive again last night. What drew thousands of people to the pedestrian zone? Also ahead.
I can't wait to bring this production here. I think we worked really hard on it.
The PNE starts this weekend, and it's launching a first this year, entertainment on ice. But the beloved traditions aren't going anywhere. What fairgoers can expect, that's ahead.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch. I can never remember where I docked my yacht. It's another gorgeous day in Cole Harbour, looking towards Stanley Park under a slightly hazy sky.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
A couple's plan for a quiet retirement has really gone to the dogs.
We love it. It's our retirement gig. We really love it.
All aboard the Pup bus, where Kim and Brenda Schrader spend their days picking up eager pooches and taking them to the park. The couple started the business after losing their own dog, River, and deciding they wanted to do something for other dogs. Now they're spending their retirement dishing out treats and going on plenty of puppy field trips. And I could see you doing something like this in your retirement. Although that's a lot of responsibility, all those puppies.
That's what I was thinking. I'll just ride the bus with the puppies. I don't want to, have to work in retirement. I want to play with them.
You could just volunteer your time to hang out, right?
Exactly. That's a bus I can join for sure. All right, let's take a look at our forecast. A beautiful night tonight. We're seeing blue skies and sunshine, huge ridge of high pressure that's keeping things hot across the province. The hot spot in the country, Lytton at 38 degrees, smoky skies there right now, and it met the record set back in 2009 at 38 degrees. So ridge of high pressure, as you can see offshore, dominating the whole province, and not a cloud in the sky for the most part, and definitely not a drop of rain as we head into tomorrow across the province. We still have air quality warnings in place, and they have been changing and shifting the last couple of days. So right now, under an orange air quality warning is the Fraser Canyon, Manning, and South Okanagan. Everywhere else in the southern interior, stretching all the way to Elk Valley, you're under a yellow air quality warning. So just a reminder to stay indoors or limit your outdoor activity, stay hydrated, and stay cool as well as we head into the weekend. Blue skies and sunshine across the south coast right now. Things will change as we head into tomorrow morning. It'll be nice and clear, but it's not until tomorrow afternoon we see increasing cloud coverage, and that is going to set up for some rain as we head into the weekend. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine in store for this central and coastal interior. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. For the North Island, a mix of sun and cloud, 19 degrees, mostly sunny skies for Campbell River and Comox, highs to 28. For the South Island, you're looking at a lot of sunshine from Tofino right down to Nanaimo. Increasing cloud coverage for the Southern Gulf Islands and Victoria with 26 degrees. Mostly sunny skies for the Sunshine Coast. Hotter up the Sea to Sky Highway. Temperatures in the low 30s for Squamish and Whistler, and for us across the Lower Mainland. Increasing cloud coverage as we head through the afternoon. 26 degrees near the water, 30 degrees inland, and then we'll see light rain return on Saturday. Much needed into Sunday morning before it clears out of the way, cooling down to 20 degrees. Mostly sunny skies on Monday at 23, warmer on Tuesday, and then cooling down for Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see temperatures in the low 20s. So much needed rain, dust off your umbrellas, and yeah, it'll continue right through until Sunday morning.
I'm actually dragon boating on Saturday, and even though I'll be outside, I'm not going to complain too much.
It'll be refreshing for you.
Exactly. All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
It's equal parts cultural institution, economic generator, and all-around fun time. The PNE Fair kicks off its 2026 season Saturday morning with a slate of new entertainment and old favorites alike. CTV's Penny Daflaw's got a sneak peek and explains just how important the fair is for first-time workers.
It's the calm before the storm at Hastings Park as the finishing touches go up and the media get a sneak preview at the 2026 PNE. It includes a tattoo over the opening weekend.
We'll have 120 or 30 musicians on the floor at one time.
And acts like the Superdogs celebrating their 50th year as a family favorite.
Lisa, Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Organizers know how important these traditions are.
We can't wait to do what we do best, which is to deliver memorable experiences and bring play to every day for the hundreds of thousands of people who are going to join us from the city, the region, and beyond.
But novelty is also important, so the PNE is pledging,
we will surprise you.
For the first time in its 116-year history, the PNE Fair has entertainment on ice. If you can believe it, Dorothy is...
I'm actually from Kansas.
And looking forward to wowing the crowds.
I can't wait to bring this production here. I think we've worked really hard on it.
You don't necessarily need experience to get experience.
The PNE prides itself on being on countless resumes across the province.
The PNE is the largest single-site employer of youth in all of British Columbia. We have thousands of young people who get their first job or maybe continue through and get put themselves through university or come back as an annual job.
It's a similar story for many of the vendors.
Perry and I cooked on the truck for many years before we just got too big, and now we've got all the kids in.
Real Mac and Cheese,
looking right here,
is celebrating a quarter century at the PNE, a multi-generational business thriving at the Summertime Cultural Institution.
We have people that actually come to fair for us.
The summer night concerts, vendors, and lumberjacks are all back, with plenty more to entice visitors.
Okay, Simon and
of all kinds.
Cheers.
Penny Daflaw, CTV News, Vancouver.
Yummy. Well, a class action lawsuit over fake maple syrup has been launched, also coming up.
We just really love them. We're so excited.
The BTS Army has descended on Toronto, fans flying in from across the country for their only Canadian concerts. What the city's doing to welcome them, that's ahead. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar is up, trading for more than 72.5 cents U.S. Oil was up $2, trading around $86 a barrel. Gold saw a $26 bump. And on the stock market, the TSX down 36 points. The Dow Jones also down 703 points on the day. A class action lawsuit has been filed in Quebec Superior Court over fake cans of maple syrup, which were allegedly diluted with cane sugar. The plaintiff originally filed an application for a class action suit in April, naming the syrup producer Érablière Steve Bordeaux. Now, several major grocery chains have been named in the lawsuit, including Loblaws, Metro, and Sobeys. The filing claims they betrayed customers' trust. The suit is seeking refunds and $100 in punitive damages per class member. Excitement is building in Toronto, where the K-pop supergroup BTS is performing this weekend for the only Canadian dates on their world tour. And as CTV's Jessica Smith reports, the city is pulling out all the stops to welcome BTS and their army of fans.
BTS is back in Toronto. The K-pop supergroup is bringing their Arirang World Tour right here to Rogers Stadium for 2 back-to-back shows this weekend. Roughly 50,000 fans are expected each night of the 2 sold-out shows. The City of Toronto is embracing the BTS mania. City Council agreed to a temporary renaming of a portion of Yonge Street from North York Boulevard to Finch Avenue to BTS Boulevard. The temporary name change is expected to be in place from August 21st until September 23rd. Fans lined up early this morning for a pop-up at Yorkdale Mall where they could customize merchandise, with excitement bubbling over ahead of the back-to-back shows this weekend.
It's been a long time coming, and it just feels so special to see the boys like back in Toronto, back in Canada, and I know like the city is like doing all that they can to welcome them.
I'm going on Saturday. Yeah, I flew in from Calgary yesterday, and then my aunt drove me. We left at like 6 a.m. to get here this morning.
Definitely their music just really speaks to you, and they always cover really deep subject matters, and we just really love them. We're so excited.
Now, this is the first time BTS is back in the city in nearly 10 years, and the fandom cannot wait. The BTS Army is for sure looking forward to it.
The Television Critics Association has revealed the winners of its 42nd annual awards, and a Canadian series skated off with the top prize.
Shane Hollander, I wanted to introduce myself.
Okay.
Heated rivalry. The hit Crave show about a secret romance between two rival hockey stars won the Marquee Program of the Year prize. Other big winners include Apple TV's Widow's Bay, topping all programs with 3 prizes, and HBO Max's The Pit with the prize for Outstanding Achievement in Drama. And Stephen Colbert was honored with a Career Achievement Award just 3 months after his final Late Show. They call him the Tugboat. Coming up, the new Major League Baseball player from Vancouver is already pulling in fans. His story coming up. Plus, camera connection. Adam finds out how a man found a way to change his life by taking random people's pictures. Coming up on the Sawatsky Sign Off. Right now, here's Carrie with a preview of Your Morning Vancouver.
Could Vancouver support a women's professional basketball team someday? Friday on Your Morning Vancouver, with the Toronto Temple coming to Vancouver this weekend, we sit down with the team's president about possible WNBA expansion. Plus, the PNE is about to get underway. What's different this year at Vancouver's 2-week end of summer tradition? We'll see you in the morning.
That's Vancouver DJ Felix Cartel performing for fans on Granville last night. As you can see, the free pop-up concert drew thousands to the Granville Street pedestrian zone, something we haven't seen since the FIFA World Cup. The son of a Canucks legend is making a name for himself in a different sport. 19-year-old Walter Sedin, son of Henrik, has signed with the Vancouver Whitecaps reserve team. The Vancouver native is returning home after playing in Sweden. Sedin came up through the Whitecaps Academy and recently helped Canada qualify for the Under-20 World Cup, its first trip to the tournament since 2007. He signed with the Whitecaps' second team through June 2028. This is a dream come true for one pitcher from Vancouver. Matt Wilkinson, known as Tugboat, was a star with the Okotoks Dogs in Alberta, and now 3 years later, he has made his major league debut with the San Francisco Giants. Here's CTV's Moses Waldo with more.
Setting sail on his big league career.
It was a night Matt Tugboat Wilkinson will never forget, making his major league debut with friends and family in attendance, and against a Cleveland Guardians team that drafted him in 2023.
You know, family and friends be able to come out, and so can't really complain about that. You know, it's kind of a cool story that I do get to have my debut here, after especially being 3 years with them.
In 2015, the BC native made a name for himself at the Little League World Series, striking out 16 batters. But it's his nickname that has brought a lot of attention too, from media outlets down south.
Tugboat's a great nickname. First time I've ever heard that.
It occurred when he was playing T-ball. It didn't move too quick around the bases, and as one of my good friends, Phil McNeil, is the one who gave him the nickname Tugboat, and he go 2-2 goes the Tugboat when Matt's running around the bases. It was a comical thing.
He set sail for Okotoks at 15, playing for its academy and eventually the collegiate team.
When he showed up to the academy, like, the foundation was already in place.
Jeff Duda was Wilkinson's pitching coach.
What makes Tugboat so good is the fact that he throws with such conviction and such belief in every one of his pitches that it takes his stuff to a whole other level.
He became an instant fan favorite, with the Okotoks dogs claiming him as their own.
Just amazing to watch him grow and where he's gotten to, and he's achieved his goals, so it's amazing to see that.
And it shows every off-season when Wilkinson returns to train with the players.
A lot of these kids in the building right now can say that they've thrown with or next to Tugboat.
Huge inspiration. I mean, knowing that hard work pays off, and grinding for it, and eventually the good things will happen.
Wilkinson pitched just 2 innings in his debut, allowing 1 hit and no walks. There will be plenty of opportunities to start with the Giants, who are keeping him for the remainder of the season.
You want him to succeed, and for the most part, Matt's career, he's done very well and succeeded.
Moses Wildu, CTV News, Calgary.
A runaway pig who went viral after he was spotted scampering through West Hollywood has found a forever home.
Diane saw the news clips and saw the little pig running in West Hollywood, and she just called me and said, please get the pig, get the pig.
The Diane she's referring to is songwriter Diane Warren, who operates a 7-acre animal sanctuary in Malibu. That's where Wilbur, the WeHo pig, will live out the rest of his days. He's famous for leading a pint-sized pursuit through the streets of West Hollywood over the weekend before he was captured and taken to an animal shelter. Officials say a silent auction had to be set up because so many people were interested in adopting Wilbur.
He's a celebrity already in West Hollywood.
He had quite a healthy diet, too. I noticed he's got, like, sliced apples. It looked like Cheerios there.
He's a millionaire pig, man.
He's in Hollywood, right?
Exactly.
Very cute. Okay, well, whale watchers didn't even have to leave the dock in Victoria yesterday to catch a killer show. A pod of Big's killer whales was caught on camera swimming in the inner harbor. This particular pod is known as the Runaways, after its matriarch, Runaway, who was born in 1990. The animals did a lap of the inner harbor before heading back to the open ocean. Amazing. I mean, the inner harbor is such a busy place. Okay, well, finally, a Vancouver man with a passion for photography is on a mission to capture strangers and their stories. As Adam finds out, it's about more than just the photos he takes. It's a way of overcoming adversity and making connections in an often disconnected world. On tonight's Encore, Sawatsky sign-off.
Although Justin Venema wanted to photograph people since he was a child,
I remember looking through the viewfinder and thinking, like, the world just looks really cool.
The social anxiety he developed during the pandemic made interacting with people feel impossible.
And I could feel my hands start to shake and my knees start to tremble.
It was so debilitating, Justin decided he had to face his fear and was determined to approach a random stranger and offer to take their picture.
I wish I could say it was like suddenly found the courage and went out. No, I went out and I forced myself.
8 months after coming up with the idea, Justin vowed he wouldn't return home until he talked to at least one person.
I was feeling like I was going to pass out or throw up or maybe a combination of both.
And then Justin found the courage to do this.
Excuse me. Sorry. So sorry to bother you.
The first person he approached was Jaden, who accepted his invitation.
And they were so kind. All of my fears were immediately alleviated. And I was like, that wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be for the last 8 months. So let's do it again.
So Justin committed to take a stranger's picture every day for the next 365 days straight.
That was the decision I made, and it completely changed my life.
It was far from easy, but after achieving his goal, Justin hasn't stopped, and now also photographs random pets, sharing his images on social media.
It's been such a heartwarming experience all around to go from someone who felt so anxious and alone to someone who feels connected.
But although the process began as a way to help him, Justin's kept doing it as a way to empower others.
When I'm literally looking at the most photogenic person in the world, they're like, oh, I don't look good in photos.
So Justin aims for each stranger he meets, like Seth Marks, to feel seen.
Oh, so good, so good.
For their stories to be heard.
Little rock star, that's good.
And for them to leave feeling included.
Kind of was like a highlight to my day. Like, I wasn't expecting anything like that.
Everybody at their core wants to connect. They just don't know how. Force yourself to talk to people. And I really do feel like if you do that, it will change your life.
Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. They make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
It's amazing how many people are just open to this random stranger coming up to them and saying, hey, can I take your picture?
But he is an amazing photographer because all those photos looked great. I'm going to have to seek him out with Lucy because he's a great pet photographer, too.
Get a free photo shoot, right?
Exactly. All right, Justin, I'll look for you. It looked like he was in the downtown area, right?
You can message him on Instagram.
Oh, that's even smarter. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. Blue skies and sunshine at Buccaneer Bay and Thormanby Island, just off the Sunshine Coast. Thanks, Brad, for this beautiful photo. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
So many islands to discover in BC.
Another on the list.
Yeah, we'll add that to the list. All right, thanks, Ann. Thanks for joining us tonight. Lauren's back tonight at 11:30. Good night.